When I served, we watched a gunner hold a red-hot cannonball while she sang our empire's anthem. All for trading some of our supplies on the side, mind you.
You have to maintain discipline
You'd make
somehow.
an excellent admiral, Envoy. However, that approach won't win many allies in the living lands. As Ludwig, we'll find out.
I get it,
It
though.
remains to be seen whether Ambassador Hilgard and Ludwig are rowing in the same
This
direction.
is brewing a lot of
But I fear
philosophical
there's
debate in my
trouble on
own
the
brain.
horizon, especially if the Stilgarode's tactics win out.
Because, like, here I am, I'm thinking I'm more of like a... I feel in my heart, at least up until this point, I guess this game has challenged me philosophically, but I believed I was someone who would resent the order and stuff, but like, I get it. Mystic, what's up, man? Thank you for the raid. But it's tough. Cause like I understand why you would do that and try to have order, and I understand that like you're always gonna have a population of people who are going to go against the order. And it's a very hard balance, and I think it's something that's like never going to end, because there's always going to be someone who resents the order, and there's going to be people who crave the order. And like there is a way to mesh that in between with personal freedoms, and also like having the greater society be like cohesive. But I mean, even like I even thought about this recently. Like, democracy isn't like a perfect system, right? And like, because all you really need is, I mean, ours is a little fucky because it's a republic, but all you really need is 51%. It's the same thing like if you were to buy a company, you don't buy 100% of the company, you buy 51%, just the majority, because that's all you need. You need that extra 2% over the minority stake. But is it fair for 51% to represent the whole of the populace? So like, at least in America, I'm realizing now too, as I say that in Europe, there's parliaments with several different percentages of stake in terms of the government and parties, which I think is a way more like efficient system for actual representation. But in this case, we're talking Paradisans versus the Adir Empire, and the implications that come with the Adir Empire coming into Paradis, and they're imposing their... I think the problem is that they're imposing their culture, their ideology onto the Paradisans, while the Paradisans literally formed to push back against those ideals. And I think fundamentally that both groups are just so different that this just can't end any other way besides war. But I think in that case, like, I mean, I've seen, I got shot with an arrow, there's smugglers, they have grenades and shit, but I don't know, like, my only perspective at the same time is that I showed up here after the Adirans and the Steel Garrote showed up, and I'm like way after the fact, so it's hard to say like what was the Paradisans like before the Adirans came in. I'll have to find that part out, because that would really help shape like how I really feel about all of this. But from like, that goes back to the micro standpoint. I think in the micro scale, I'm an envoy. I came here to fix the Dream Scourge. I got shot. Are the higher ups and the Emperor doing something terrible? Maybe. I mean, most people in power are. So I don't know. That really sparked a lot of interesting stuff. Yes, I'm here to investigate the Dream Scourge, not mediate between Hilgard and the Steel Garrote.
Like it or not, their differences could make trouble for you.
They probably will.
Especially since the Steel Garrote is here under Adir's flag. And I worry about what that means for the rest of us.
Something's on your mind.
Just thinking about Claviger Aemon. I let him down. I've let a few people down over the years. But I did promise someone once that I'd do my part to look after all of us riffraff who've made a home here. My best chance of doing that is helping you investigate this plague and keep a lid on tensions. And, hopefully, fend off any future assassination attempts.
A promise to someone that someone you wish you could raise from the dead. Yeah.
You don't miss much, do you?
No.
That's a story for another time.
No, tell me.
I've had all the doom and gloom I can
You've
stand
avoided
for one
this
night.
2 conversations in a
By
row
the
now.
way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another.
Okay. Yeah, how long have I need to ask him, how long have the rebels been active in Paradise?
Rebellion's more like our natural state of being in the living lands. People on the island don't much like being told what to do. In fact, many come here specifically for that reason.
It's very much like, there was a sort of island city, I forgot what it's called. Was it Port Royal? Maybe not. But it was made of a bunch of pirates who basically just wanted total freedom, which is exactly what Paradise sounds like. In fact, it might even be inspired by that. And the royal navies of several countries came and just, you know, blew it up after some time. But at the same time, you know, I don't know, because no side's 100% good. It's so hard, man. It's so hard. Like, total free. I don't believe in unfettered, complete freedom. Which sounds bad on the surface if you don't, like, understand what that means. But, like, unfettered and unchecked freedom is complete chaos. And based on what you see, the human nature like exercises in the day-to-day, like even me, just as a, like, I'm essentially a retail worker, maybe like slight step ahead, but even in that setting, it's healthcare, which is also customer service, but people are just dicks for no reason. And then if you take that to the extreme, if there was like no laws that like would reprimand or have consequence for those things, there'd be a lot of people who just like would just shoot people. I mean, you still have that with the order, but I think it's a lot less than what would be there if we just didn't have any of that either. I know, but it's making me think. It's making me think, and I like thinking. And like it's so just, I don't know. I've been reading so much philosophy and religion and everything, just trying to figure everything out the past like few years. Actually, I probably studied that like even in high school, so like the greater part of a decade, and I still haven't reached the answer, but I think we're gonna maybe get there thanks to this game, hopefully.